What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. There's a very real chance that when Justin Gaethje walks into the octagon on January 24th at UFC 324, it could be the last time we ever see him do it. Not next year, not after one more run, not after one more paycheck. According to the people closest to him, if Justin Gaethje does not win this fight, he may be done, and that changes everything about UFC 324. This isn't fans guessing online, and it's not reporters chasing clicks. This is coming straight from his longtime coach, Trevor Wittman, the same coach who's been with him through wars, knockouts, title fights, and brutal weight cuts. So today, we're going to break down what was actually said, why this fight matters more than any other in Gaethje's career, and what retirement would really look like for one of the most violent fighters the UFC has ever seen. Justin Gaethje has never been a guy who talks in circles. For years, he's said the same thing over and over. He doesn't want to hang around just to be someone else's highlight. He doesn't want to be a gatekeeper. And he doesn't want to fight just for money if the title isn't on the table. That matters here, because a while back, Gaethje openly said that if another title opportunity wasn't coming, retirement was on the table. At the time, some people called it frustration. Others thought it was leverage. But now, with UFC 324 approaching, those words feel a lot heavier. Gaethje is booked to fight Paddy Pimblett for the interim lightweight belt in Las Vegas. And recently, Trevor Wittman sat down with ESPN MMA and made the situation very clear. This is a direct quote. "This is our last run. If we don't win this fight, we're not going on. We're not going to be gatekeepers. We're not chasing money fights. He's a goal setter." That's not vague. That's not hopeful. That's a line in the sand. If Justin Gaethje loses at UFC 324, the plan is to walk away. No reset, no rebuilding year, no one more for the fans. But if he wins, everything changes. Wittman went on to say that if Gaethje wins the belt, the goal is to defend it multiple times, but only if it makes sense for his health and his family. And that part matters more than anything. Justin Gaethje is 37 years old. In the lightweight division, that's old, especially for someone who's been in the kinds of fights Gaethje has been in. Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, Tony Ferguson, Eddie Alvarez. These weren't chess matches. These were wars. And at some point, even the toughest fighters have to ask themselves how much longer they want to pay that price. Because Wittman said something else. He said Gaethje is ready to wrestle, not as a backup plan, but as a real weapon. He talked about how much time Gaethje has spent at grappling, how strong his wrestling actually is, and how confident he is in that part of his game. And if you're an MMA fan, you're probably thinking what everyone else is thinking. We've heard this before. For years, we've been told Gaethje has elite wrestling. And then the fight starts, and he chooses violence instead. But this time, retirement is on the line. And that could change everything about how he fights. Michael Chandler recently weighed in on this matchup as well. He acknowledged Pimblett's advantages: reach, kicks, composure. But he also said Gaethje is a different animal. Chandler leaned toward Gaethje becoming interim champion. Then he paused and admitted that Ilia Topuria might be the most skilled fighter in the entire UFC. That hesitation matters, because even believers know how thin the margins are now. And this is where the story gets heavy. If Gaethje loses, that's it. No rematch, no comeback arc. The final image could be him walking back to the locker room knowing it's over. But if he wins, we're talking about defenses, legacy fights, and leaving on his own terms. That's why this fight feels different. Meanwhile, the lightweight division keeps moving. Arman Tsarukyan has made it clear he won't be a backup unless he's actually fighting. He's dealing with a hernia, and surgery is a possibility. So if something goes wrong at UFC 324, there's no clean safety net, which only adds more pressure to this fight happening exactly as planned. And that pressure doesn't just sit on Gaethje, it sits on the UFC. Because if Gaethje retires, the division loses one of its last guaranteed action fighters. No stalling, no coasting, no safe decisions. Those guys don't come around often. So when January 24th finally arrives in Las Vegas, this isn't just another fight night. It's not just another main event. It's not just another interim belt. This could be the last time Justin Gaethje ever walks into the octagon. No farewell tour, no warning, no slow goodbye. Just one walk, one fight, and possibly one final exit. If he wins, we talk about legacy, about gold, about leaving on his own terms. But if he loses, there is no reset button, no comeback story, no rebuilding year, just silence, the kind that follows a fighter who gave everything and walked away before the sport took anything else. And maybe that's the most Justin Gaethje ending possible. Not dragged out, not diminished, just one last war, and a door quietly closing behind him. So when that cage door shuts on January 24th, pay attention, because you might not be watching another chapter, you might be watching the end. Then after a full beat of silence, close with, "So let me ask you, do you think Justin Gaethje wins and keeps the story going? Or do you think we're about to witness his final walk away?" Let me know in the comments.